Covering today the 7 most shocking retirements of all time. Starting out with Marvin Gaye, American singer known for his soulful voice, announced his retirement from music at the age of 40. And then not far after, about a year after, was tragically shot by his father, kind of getting in the middle of an argument between his father and his mother, and just a terrible ending of his life. And that's number 1, Marvin Gaye. On to number 2, Bruce Willis.
Yeah, so Bruce Willis, how many action movies did we all grow up watching that guy actually produce? And seemed like he was making movies up until just really recently. And then, unfortunately, he had to retire from acting due to dementia, which dementia is just a devastating disease that really impacts not just the individual that has it, but unfortunately the families around them. In his case, his family's done a pretty remarkable job of really honoring him and everything else, but that was a really shocking retirement with Bruce Willis, who's kind of this rough, tough guy that we all grew up watching in these action movies, and unfortunately had to retire due to dementia.
Steve Jobs, co-founder of Apple and CEO, announced his retirement from the company due to health reasons at the age of 56. His departure was seen as a major loss for that company.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'll tell you something about the Steve Jobs thing. He was a lot like Elon Musk or Bill Gates. Serious innovator, transcends generations, died tragically of cancer. And, one of the things I think is very stoic about right before his passing was he's really almost famously known, had more money than you could possibly spend in your lifetime. But talking about what was really important in life, and it wasn't money when he was at the end of his life. So Steve Jobs, very unfortunate. And of course, Dan, the next one, J.K. Rowling.
Yeah, J.K., Harry Potter author, surprised everybody by retiring at the age of 46, really considered to be at the prime and the peak of that career. Really shocking to see them retire at that age. And sometimes people just know when to get out and feel like maybe they're at the peak and there's nothing that they can do to surpass that, but still equally as shocking for sure. We have 3 more to go, but here we want to make sure that your retirement doesn't come to a shock, and we want it to be well planned. And so if you go to beaconcm.com/financial-planning, you can make sure that your financial plan is in order and that doesn't come to a shocking and abrupt end before you want it to as well. Man, this one is a big one that I think all know. Michael Jordan.
Retired from his basketball career in 1993. Man, that is hard to believe. I mean, we're talking 30 years ago he retired the first time. We're getting old. I'm getting old. I don't know about you. And then he retired to get this, pursue a baseball career. That clearly did not work out so well. His on-base percentage was probably less than mine was in Little League, which was not good. No offense, Michael. But then he comes back in 1995, wins I don't know how many other championships in the NBA, and depending on who you talk to, some of the old timers out there talk about some of these guys that when you didn't have TV and they were wearing those really tiny short shorts and stuff. I still think Michael Jordan's the greatest player there's ever been.
Well, I saw something the other day and it said, could the I think it was the 95 or 96 Bulls beat today's Lakers just recently? And Jordan came out and said, yeah, by a few points. And the guy said, why by a few points? And he said, well, because we're all in our 60s now. So anyway, Michael Jordan, shocking retirement. Andrew Luck retired at the age of 29. That's early for a quarterback as well due to physical injuries and mental health. 4-time Pro Bowler, just been named NFL's Comeback Player of the Year. Mental health is a big thing today, and I actually applaud him for walking away at that time. So many tragedies due to that, and if he had the awareness to walk away, that's great for him. That's big, but definitely a shock. He was an up-and-comer, had a big career ahead of him, and decided to walk away from that.
And I'm a huge Tennessee fan. Took over arguably one of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history, Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
And so to sort of take that mantle out of college when he was drafted, And quite frankly, to handle it with so much dignity and respect, to step into that role would be just tough. And then to have the really the maturity to make that decision at a young age, where he's just still super, super talented. A lot of respect and admiration for Andrew Luck. Never met him, but would love to meet that guy. He's like a bucket list guy to me. I think he retired at the right time. And then the last one we'll talk about today, Dan, is Sandra Day OConnor.
Yep, first woman to serve on the U.S. Supreme Court, and announced her retirement at the early age for the Supreme Court of 75 years old. So, well, we hope you enjoyed the 7 most shocking retirements. And for more episodes like this, click below, subscribe.